Well, hello, my good friends. I've really enjoyed this class. I kind of apologize for being so compressed, all right? 6 weeks is quite a short period of time to do all the work that we need to do to write a really quality research paper. So that said, here is the pedal hitting the metal. I've gone ahead and delayed the due date by 1 day for peer review. You don't have to turn it in until Friday night, okay? That still gives you the weekend to look at each other's papers. That said, what are we looking for, okay? If you look in the Unit 3 folder, writing your paper, the grading rubric's a really good place to start, all right? You'll see that it insists on a minimum of 10 pages if you expect to get a C or better, okay? I don't mind if you write 12 or 14. You probably don't need to write more than that because that means you're starting to get unfocused, okay? None of that includes the works cited list, okay? There are a couple sample papers in there. Don't forget that a business plan is different than a research paper, so they look different, okay? The peer reviews link is in there. I need to double check that. And then, of course, the assignment link for the paper. So let me tell you exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for really quality paragraphs, okay? Good writing is all about paragraphs. Stephen King says this, okay? This is where he got it from, as a matter of fact. Basically, every paragraph needs to begin with a topic sentence, a sentence that defines what the paragraph's about, and in some fashion, that topic sentence needs to relate to your thesis, to the focus of your paper, okay? So never, ever start a paragraph with your research, okay? And if I catch any of you doing that, I'll know you didn't listen to this video, all right? So don't do that, all right? Prove to me you've listened to this video, please. So every paragraph begins with your own thought. What's the point you want to make in this paragraph? Make the point. That's simple. Okay. Then use your research to, I call it illustrate, to support, to prove, okay, the point you just made, to build out that point a bit. You don't need to repeat the point. Don't do that. Okay. You don't need to say it in other words. You've said it. Okay. Let your research then provide expert testimony. Show the reader that you're really intelligent, right? Or show the reader exactly what you mean, okay? So I think a good research paper is going to have at least one quote, one direct quote from your research in every single paragraph. If it doesn't, I'm going to say, hey, this is starting to read like an editorial, okay? So once again, if I see papers with no quotes in the paragraphs, I'll know you didn't listen to the video. That's a big no-no in this class, okay? You can't get an A. So paragraphs need to be supported by the evidence, right, which comes from your research. Now, if you're a little unsure of how to integrate quotes, how to use quotes well, if you go to the help menu, there's a PowerPoint that I created about quoting, okay, good quoting skills. Take a look at that, okay. So all your paragraphs basically can flow out of your PowerPoint. I'll be looking at the PowerPoints this week. I doubt that I'll get them. I might get them all done. Who knows? Okay. Sometimes when I sit down and work, I really, really work hard. Okay. As you can tell, I'm in Malaysia still. A little distracted at times. All right, I thought I'd be home by now, but that didn't turn out. I'm teaching longer than I expected, which is good. All right, I like teaching here. I like you students. I like students, so I have more students. Isn't that nice? So that said, paragraphs, expert testimony, research, every paragraph. If you're a little unsure about the quoting, go there. If you're unsure about the citing, okay. Over there in the help menu is more about citing, in-text citations. Every quote needs to have an in-text citation. Every paragraph should have an in-text citation. Even if you're summarizing or what's the other word, paraphrasing, you still cite where you got the material from. Now, some of you have asked that, hey, some of my pages don't have page numbers. Well, then you can't do anything. Okay, you can still put the author's name there. Okay, parentheses, author's name, last name. Okay, same way with your works cited list. There's material in the help menu on the left, how to do that correctly. It's important that you learn how to do these things correctly. You have to study it. You have to keep looking at it, okay? So your paragraphs should unfold from your PowerPoint. They should all be unified to your thesis, okay? Some of you are going to write good thesis statements, others not so much. I've not spent as much time on that as I would have liked. But basically your introduction to the paper, which, by the way, you can write last, okay? You do not have to write the introduction first. And by the way, this does not need to be a high school introduction. It doesn't need to be an attention getter or creative or anything like that. Just tell the reader what the paper is about and how it unfolds, okay? And that's why I say sometimes you can write it last because you don't quite know how your paper unfolds until you kind of get it written. Then you say, oh, look at this. You know, here's what I did, A, B, C, D, E, and F, all right? So your conclusion, you should get down to your conclusion, and you can kind of get to that kind of naturally, like suddenly you get to the point. E.M. Forster said this. He's the author of Passage to India. Those of you who have taken some literature. He said, how do I know what I'm writing until I get there? Okay, how do I know what I'm writing until I've written it, okay? Because, you know, you're thinking, all right? This is good. You don't know your thoughts always ahead of time. The PowerPoint helps you some, okay? The PowerPoint helps you get organized, helps you think about your thinking about your topic, and it did create some organization, which is great. So when you get to the conclusion, just simply summarize the high points of the paper in the order that you made them, okay? And then say something pithy or blah, blah, blah at the end, or just tie it all together somehow. It's never easy. There is help in the help menu about conclusions, too. That said, after the conclusion is written, you can go back and write the introduction, and basically you know what the paper is about now. The introduction should give some clues how the paper is going to unfold. If the paper unfolds A, B, C, D, E, and F, the introduction should unfold A, B, C, D, E, and F, okay? That kind of thing. So a good introduction and a good conclusion kind of match each other. That way the reader knows papers come back together. So bottom line, meet the page minimum of 10 pages if you want a C, 12 or more if you want an A, okay? And the reason this is good research papers, good writing is all about development. Provide the examples. If you find yourself kind of up short, go back to the research. Find some expert testimony. Don't add paragraphs to the end. Don't do that. Go back to the middle of the paper, go back into all those paragraphs, and build them out a little bit. Add a sentence, add another quote to every paragraph. You'll be surprised how well that works. Okay, I've rambled on long enough. So Friday night is blah, 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 peer review, get peer review done. Okay, remember the point of peer review is to help each other. It's also to think about your paper. If you don't get any feedback, don't feel bad. Okay, sometimes these peer review groups fall apart, without me knowing. I'm sorry about that. So don't feel bad. Do the best you can, okay? I don't penalize you if your group's falling apart. I know how to look for that. I've taught this course many years, okay? And so the point of peer review is to look at each other's work, thinking about your own work all the time, and then hopefully you'll learn a little bit about each other's topics, okay? So hey, if you have questions, get a hold of me. Friday night, start peer review, get it done by Monday night. At the same time, you have to turn in your revised paper. Okay, Monday night, course is over. No late, no excuses, no nothing. I have my own job to do, okay, with a lot of pressure, a lot of deadlines. I've got a message this morning from the registrar saying if I don't get my grades turned in on time, I have to show up in person to turn them in. It's like, oh my God, won't that be fun? Okay, yeah, good luck. Stay in touch. Bye-bye.